Hi, I'm Angus Wright, and I also go by Angus By Design. And this is another day in a personal spiritual practice which I call Satsang for One, where I tune in and listen to a podcast from the Ram Dass Be Here Now network. And then I pull an animal oracle card. Actually, I skipped a step. So I listen to the podcast, I journal it online in a digital journal that I've created, and then I write in my physical journal the quotes that stand out to me, and I pull an animal oracle card as a tool to reflect and to make connections with the lecture from the day. Um, so today's episode of the podcast was a conversation between Raghu Marcus, who is the host of the podcast, and Ram Dass. So let's take a look. So the first quote is the movie of me, and it's Ram Dass speaking. My body is 87, with all its aches and pains. I don't identify with my body. I'm inside, and I am infinite. I'm a soul, and I watch the whole drama of my body, my personality, and my ego. The witness, which is part of the soul, I identify with. That rather than all the drama. Ram Dass. And the next quote is about keeping the faith. I used to consider myself as captain of the ship, but now I think of Maharaj-ji as the captain of the ship, of my ship. When I have problems and bad times, I turn to him and I find myself talking to him and then relaxing from the fact that he is going to fix my mind about the problem. Ram Dass. Breaking the cycle. The meditation goes inward to your being, and there are things that are unconscious when you go to that depth of your consciousness. And you'll have to deal with them because they have their karma. They're a result of past life, and treat your karma as the movie of you. The karma may be only on this plane, and you have to go up to the soul plane to witness it, to feel free of it. You're witnessing, you're drinking. You'll witness your soul, and then it's just karma. Just karma. There'll be a moment you'll say, it's just a thought. Just a thought. Going back to drinking, that's the thought. One of those thoughts. You love them. Ram Dass. And just a note about that, I think he's referring to drinking in the context of the earthly desires that we can get sucked into, right? So, Ram Dass's history is kind of in the 60s and 70s of drugs and LSD and all these things. So I think he's referring to the attachments that we get to those things. Identity and relationships. Love, compassion, wisdom, peace, and joy are all in you. When you sit down and identify with your being, not your doing, you will find all these things in you and you will radiate joy and love. Then those who have been hard to relate to, you will mirror their souls and they will just be souls. And that's Ram Dass, and he went on to say, but don't teach them. Radiate. And that's I think that's speaking to that. Well, what I heard was that's speaking to the part of the ego that wants people to understand what we're learning about what we're feeling in our spiritual breakthroughs, right? And this is about action and letting go. Your intuition is God within you. The intuition will tell you if it's not right, it's not right. There's a time to act and there is a time not to act, but your intuition will be. But your imagination, but your imagination can consult Maharaj-ji and he will tell you. He will give you some response to you to act or not act. And then there's a quote around how to dialogue with others during times of like polarizing political, social stuff. We share by being our soul. That's what you share. In the movie, you share your thoughts about politics. Sitting from your witness, she's having a political thought, but you get away from it to the witness and you can interact with people about politics. Say your truth and radiate your love. And then practice in meditation, right? So they're speaking to meditation as a practice in order to dive into yourself, to create a witness, to be able to get away from those like reactionary places. And then speaking to mindful parenting, and I feel like this is universal, and I feel like this could be from child to parent, from parent to child, from person to person, because we truly are a global village. But see your child as a soul, and see yourself as a soul. The roles of child and mother you set aside and talk to this being as a soul. Forget the age and forget the role. And then the two of them did a mantra and a chant. And it goes Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And the quote around that is, by doing this mantra, you are swept up into the one, the ocean of love, the one consciousness, the one that is behind all of us. All of us. Ram, 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 Ram. Practice, practice, practice. Beautiful message in that conversation. And as I watched it, at the very end, I was lucky because there was a sort of a video version of that podcast, that lecture. And one of the things that I truly love is the looks on their faces when they're connecting with each other, because Raghu Marcus and Ram Dass go way back to the beginning of their search, right? So taking that in mind, seeing our lives as a movie, and being able to meditate to a place where we can create our own witness, to be able to take the time needed not to react to what's happening, but to understand it on a deeper level. We'll pull a card and we'll see what comes of it. And it is the Vulture Spirit. And the Vulture Spirit says nothing is wasted. So Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted. The Oracle message. What seems hideous has its own beauty. And the recycling and repurposing the Vulture does is as important as any other activity in nature that supports the cycle of life. Vulture Spirit's message is that nothing is to be wasted, for nature sees value in everything that exists. What seems rotten and ugly has the potential to be transmuted into something beneficial. And you are reminded that any suffering you have experienced is not gone to waste. Wisdom and understanding that arose from the experience are talismans that will serve you on your journey wherever you go. What is decaying is only changing form and will fertilize seeds you wish to plant, turning that which is passed away into substance that will support new growth. All that you might wish to deny or discard has value and can be repurposed and reintegrated into the new you that you are becoming and the new life that you are dreaming into being. No pain was in vain and no experience was wasted, for you have the power to use it to co-create something far better. This is the miracle that in your partnership with Spirit. Protected message. Do you wish that you could run away from your past or deny your mistakes? Not so fast, says Vulture Spirit. You have gained something valuable from the experience. Let your grief or anger move through you, and soon your emotions will transform, for you will come to see that you have learned and grown. The alchemy of transformation is a gift from Spirit, so never disown what embarrassed, disappointed, or shamed you. It will soon be a source of great wisdom and strength as you work with the magic that allows miracles to be created out of sadness and beauty to arise from ugliness. Vulture Spirit wants you to know that you embody beauty, and the alchemical transformation of the past is happening already. Hang in there. You are so loved, and so much beauty is waiting to come out of all of this. I love that. I feel like all of that speaks and stands on its own. I love that we get to witness Ram Dass's journey from the beginning to his personal end in this incarnation on this world. And we get to see him continuously show up in his own teachings and to practice what he preaches, so to speak. I love that his connection to his guru, Maharaj-ji never faltered, never waned, and that he's still connected with him even after it passed. Namaste.